Songs about the nature of the stick. Hi, I'm Bill Vestal. I'm here to tell you all about the art of crystal sticks twirling batons. Today what we're going to do is cover the basics about how to get through the skin of crystal sticks, how to get into the action itself, learn the basic motions, learn the expanding aerobics part of the sticks activity, and then finally get into the art of the dance and the display of what you can do with the sticks as an active kind of a thing. It's a fun way to explore your own self, your own ability to learn, your own ability to persist at something and have a great deal of fun at the same time. So looking forward to a great deal of fun with crystal sticks. The history of sticks essentially goes back generations upon generations upon generations in history, and what we found out is that most cultures have one form of sticks play or another. The American Cherokee Indians, for example, would have a baton and put arrowheads on the ends. On this one, I'm using a leather piece to absorb the shock and a little rubberized grip to facilitate the play. The nice thing about sticks is that the activity starts to grow almost immediately from when you first get into it, and you'll start finding yourself right in the midst of your own artistic self-expression through movement and concentrated activity, as well as the fun and exuberance of letting yourself go into something that can contain all of that emotion and all that movement. So let's get ready for a nice show. Let's go to Janet, who has been doing sticks for about a year and a half, almost a year and a half. And the thing about Janet is that she got into it just from the standpoint of an artistic, fun kind of a thing to do. She had done some baton twirling in school earlier on, and I think you'll find what Janet's up to be quite an extraordinary accomplishment, and also you can see how much fun she's having. So let's take a look at that tape. The nice thing about Janet doing a workout like this is that you get to see a good lot of action, and you see some continuity of motion, how she's alternating between the left and right sides, and doing a lot of stretches and lunges and turns. That one over the head move right there took a lot of extra effort to get to. Now, Janet, in the time that she's been doing sticks, like everyone, tended to get better. You drop it a lot in the beginning, and then as time goes on, you drop it less and less. And then if you're like myself, when I was learning, I realized that it was my breaking of my concentration or my not giving myself another place to go with the sticks that seemed to cause that problem. So as I got more and more into the dynamics of sticks and got more complex in the movements, and of course it wound up to have its own life. And like anyone doing a kind of workout, you'll start to miss it, you'll get into it, and you'll keep fulfilling the activities each day when you go back to it. The nice thing about kids doing sticks is that they learn a little faster than adults, I think. Most of us take a little longer to learn. Over the course of the time that I've been doing sticks now in this last 6.5 years, I found out that if you will do a little bit of sticks each day, then what starts to happen as you do sticks each day is that you rely upon the foundation that you built from the day before. So when you start with those basic motions, the toss-backs and the tick-tocks that we're going to get into right now, then you'll find out that it's your beginning persistence that will pay off the most in the long run. The thing that I had to get up front is that everybody drops the sticks. And if you drop the sticks, then of course what's going to happen is you got to give yourself that little extra edge to pick them up and keep right on going. What we're going to do now is go take a look at a more detailed explanation of a left brain, right brain developmental process. Let's take a quick look. Twist, going as far as you can go as low as you can go in play, and gain some skill all the way back to this position. Bring it up as high as you can reach, cover this whole space, call this doing the worm. Go as low as you can go, and start to push it to the extremities in all directions with each hand. The idea kind of developed of claiming your bubble and polishing your windows. As you alternate between the two hands, of course, you're spreading this hand-eye coordination in every direction. Okay, so as I got into it, I thought, okay, so I'm going left hand, right hand, back and forth between the two hands, or I'm concentrating on one hand or the other hand. So there seemed to be a couple other places to go. Get rid of one of the controllers, clasp the hands together, and now unify the left side and the right side. The next logical step. And then spread this action, control-wise, all the way around the body. As low as you can go. Eyes you can reach. So along about 3 years into doing this, I decided, okay, I got right hand, got left hand, got both hands together. What's next? My feet? I thought, no, not the feet. Splitting the two sides of the body up. So that brought in split brain. Okay, so you have two lobes to the brain, and it manifests itself in the two hands. And listen, integrate the actions between the two sides, and then of course if you continue this and claim your bubble, then you'll have an exercise device that integrates your physiology as well as your muscles in the process. It's fun too. All right. Hey. Claim your bubble. The nice thing about claiming your bubble is once you get involved in that stretch, your lower body starts to really loosen up, gets that lower spine happening, and all of a sudden you find yourself getting more and more flexible from the very beginning, actually. But it is like drops of water in a bucket, but you'll certainly find out how persistence pays off and patience pays off with the long-term goal of getting a lot of control, developed a lot of exercise, and just a lot of fun that kind of wraps it all up together. What we're going to do now is take a look at those basic instructions again to make sure that you've got them. Extend that index finger. That's important. Grabbing that controller all the way back to the first wrinkle in the wrist. That acts like a doorstop on the back of the wrist. That's going to allow you to have some control right off in the very beginning. You want to keep that diamond shape with your elbows being out on both sides, making a big V in front of you. Remember, of course, to keep those knees flexible. When you move, have a little rhythm in those knees, going to the left knee and the right knee and the left knee and the right knee, and that allows you to have a little bit of connection between your body, the rest of your body, and the action of the baton. So with these thoughts in mind, let's take a look at some learning that someone's going to be having right now, and you can see what the process is. You can see that she's having a great deal of fun learning Stix and starting to watch that center point. Holding her breath a little bit on that left side seems to be getting in the way of her control, but it doesn't take very long for someone to figure that out when they keep dropping the baton, but they're picking it up. You can certainly see her enthusiasm and the fun that's coming out of the beginning Stix play. I suspect that she's been doing Stix now for not more than around an hour or so at most. The nice thing about doing the Stix this way is that you get into your own momentum and your excitement level goes up, and you'll find out that you're aerobically happening before you even know it, and of course the fun starts to speak for itself. The trick is not just to do the same move over and over again. What you really want to be able to do is to try some new moves as you go along. This learning process that happens with Stix seems to occur pretty much with everyone. You know, I've had experiences of actually going to sleep at night and dreaming about Stix moves and getting up the next day and really being able at that point to do a move or a motion that I couldn't do the night before. And I didn't really understand this at first, but as time has gone on, I figured out that what is really happening is that the effort of trying to create a move is creating a problem for the self. It's like a problem that occurs during the day. And then at night when you go to sleep, your mind is still looking for ways to solve that problem or satisfy that sequence. So I realized that if you start a motion, let's say from this position, and it starts to roll and turn to that position, if you have problems getting it over there, then your mind takes that idea, processes it, and then at night it gives a continuity to the action. In other words, it allows you to take that action and see it continuous all the way fulfilled. And since we are dealing with some pretty absolute basics here, such as gravity and things like that in your body and your form, then it's possible for you to solve that by adjusting your own body and maintaining that kind of balance and that kind of grip. So the fun part of Stix then starts out easy. The learning seems to be pretty much the same for everyone, whether you're young or old or whatever your age happens to be. But at the same time, the result of that learning is quite open-ended, and as I can attest after 6.5 years now of doing Stix, I'm only just beginning to get the real ramifications of the process of doing Stix and what it can mean for me in terms of unifying my mind-body relationship, our ability to think and act and move at the same time. So let's take a look at some other people who are learning to do Stix. I think this young gentleman here will be a good demonstration of getting that flexibility in the knees and bringing all the elements together to learn to do some Stix. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Let's get you started with a nice set of Stix. One of those in each hand. And what you do is extend your index finger like that. Same thing on both sides. Get it all the way back to the edge of the wrist. This acts like a doorstop on the back of the wrist. Make a big V out here. Yeah, that's it. All right, now, settle in as if you're sitting on a fence post. One foot under each shoulders, settle in. There you go. A little bend in those knees is really important. If you lock your knees up, you're out of balance. That'll throw you off. All right, now, elbows up slightly. We're going to stay steady, keeping your wrist straight on both sides, like this. Elbows up, and we stow back and forth, starting motion like this. Let's stay smooth. We're going to roll it over, back over, back. That's a second move. So now we're going to tick-tock. This is the first. Here's the second. And finally, here's the tuck and the push. Tuck and the push, back with it here and there. That's the hook up. Roll around and go. Wait for it.
I've seen one guy do it once.
Everybody drops it. Hello.
Bravo. Huh? Bravo.
So the nice thing that I'm finding out about Stix, as an older person, relatively speaking, of course, is that it's great for stress release. And the method that I've worked out for getting rid of stress with it, as I figured out that stress to me is action in those muscles that couldn't be quite expressed physically. So you want a way to express that action. And action is another way of saying self-expression. Self-expression leads to creativity. So I call it creative stress release. It's called a stretch. Now watch. I'm going to spread my feet a little bit. I'm going to bend those knees. I'm going to turn, going as low as I can go, and I'm going to play using those longer muscles. Now, as you'll see, that stretch can be spread all the way around the body. As you were seeing earlier, we were talking about claiming your bubble, but for stress release specifically, you want to get out there and put tension on the part of the body that's got the stress and play a little bit to loosen it up and move that action and effort around the body. Let's take another look at someone a little closer to my age, perhaps, learning to do Stix for the very first time and get a feel of, well, what he's experiencing as he's learning Stix. So let's take a look at it. The balance and the pause. So pause it there. Pause, pause, wait for it. Now watch the center of the baton rather than the end, and you'll do far better. This is the toss back being the first move. If I roll it over, catch it, and then roll it back over, like that. That's the second. It's fine to do.
Yeah, but if he moves.
Okay, now see what's happening here is what we want to do is find the balance. Wait for it. Let your breathing happen nice and naturally so that as you move, your breathing is
So if we buy the Stix, then you come home with us.
Okay, now relax this whole right shoulder. I'm going to tug and push just a little bit. And this is a helicopter kind of a motion. Because once you get the helicopter going, then you can use it as a takeoff point. There, bring it back, wait for it, come back to it there. Yeah, you don't want to lose it.
I lost sight of it, what you were doing.
Oh, honey, I'm so impressed.
Let's do that again so you can have
our
it.
film?
We're going to tug and push,
Yeah,
tug
really?
and push. Easy though, wait, slow down, breathe, relax that right shoulder now, breathe here and there. Loosen up, don't get too overexcited. Because that won't allow you to do this otherwise, like that. Then you got to
He
be
was
fluid.
probably thinking about me.
That's what it was, Yeah, sure. Hips together, point your fingers back.
You feel so in control.
Elbows up and down. Right. Well, you know, the fun thing about Stix, whenever you're learning, is that by getting into it and giving it your all, the rewards will just keep accumulating and accumulating and accumulating. You know, up to this point, what we've been doing is spending a lot of time just getting into the skin of Stix, just trying to get into that part of these opening, beginning moves. But the real fun actually takes off from that point forward. So I say that there are 3 phases to Stix, 3 moves to Stix, and each one of these will become more apparent as you get into Stix in terms of sequence. So Let's do this. Let's do a little bit of Stix here. And what I want to do is show you something slightly beyond that skin of Stix, or those opening moves. As you can see me doing right now, I'm doing these tick-tock and the flip-flop, as you were seeing in the video that we've been looking at, and a tug and push, of course, creates that wobble. So again, these are the basic moves. So the idea around this has to do with spreading those moves out all around the body, getting a whole active area or field then of play, and then, of course, taking that play and tying it up with some music and some fun and some dance, and really getting into the dynamics of Stix. I'll do a few motions here for you so you can get some ideas about how that dynamic takes off and gets a life of its own. Then what I think we're going to do is take a look at a little bit of a drum jam for a second of me doing some hot stuff with a couple of batons, and I think you'll find out that we'll be getting right into the development art part of the Stix and the fun part of the Stix, and you can see how Stix as an art form is actually being born right before your very eyes. So let's do this. Let's twirl, let's spin, let's get it together, and let's go in and see some Stix in action. Ho, ho. Makes you want to spin and turn and twirl, doesn't it? Good God, look at that. You know, the nice thing about doing the Stix like this all the time, for me, is that I get the benefit of the muscle development, and I guess I ought to point that out to you a little bit. The thing that Stix really astounded me the most is that if I stop doing Stix for a while, the muscle tone doesn't go away. It hangs in there and stays in there. So in talking to physical therapists, I'm finding out that the kind of tone you get is somewhat like a dancer's body or a ballet dancer's body, or even a martial artist body in the sense of all that workout stuff, rather than someone who lifts a lot of weights and loses their muscle as a result of stopping what they're doing. With the Stix activity, though, you don't lose that muscle tone. It seems to come from the very core and the inside of your body and work its way all the way out. Let's take a look at the end of the Renaissance day over there and get some of my thoughts after a full day of play and fun at the Renaissance. Let's come on back and dance a little bit. Let's give it a shot, will we?
Good day to you, sir.
Good day. Let's go to the Celestial Circus and let Tim play some Stix for you if he's around. He plays doubles.
So if there was a message that you'd like to give people about Crystal Stix and this video, what would it be?
Well, I think the main message is to communicate the degree of fun that I've got coming out of the Stix activity. It's kind of hard to just let someone take a look without getting the intricacies of the motions and movements and what it takes to do all of those, and the sum total of all of the activity and what my feelings or responses to that. Lately, I've been, as I play and spin and turn, I'm starting to get an after-image glow that almost looks like the two little pulses of the DNA spiral. At least that's what a friend of mine said to my description of it. And I think that there's an attunement going on from the use of the sticks that's quite extraordinary and fun and dynamic, and I'm just beginning to open the challenge up. There's a whole world of possibility coming out of the sticks that even at 6.5 years into doing sticks, I'm just starting to notice just how dynamic it really can be. And sometimes I see myself as a barbarian picking up stones for the first time, tossing them around, so to speak. Maybe that's what my activity with the sticks really is. You know, there may be electromagnetic, dynamic energy sticks of the future that'll boggle our minds and imaginations. We got a long way to go first.